Enjoy the film.
You want butter on your popcorn?
The theater will be ready in a second.
Henry, your dad got arrested
Well,
Yeah.
for the dictionaries. All that caught up with him.
Uh-huh.
well, it wasn't explicitly the dictionary. Like, I mean, obviously, the problem with him selling them underground was why he went to jail. But I don't think that was the reason the cops were even in Timberdale in the first place.
What do you mean?
I think he was framed. I don't think.
You think he was framed for selling books
No,
underground?
Selling dictionaries
in the
that
tunnel
he wrote?
system that's underneath Timberdale?
Well, that's okay. Those tunnels were put there for a reason, okay, and it'll tell you it was to move dictionaries, but that's not
Hot
the
take.
reason, okay? That's not the reason. I would say the reason is well, I mean, you saw what they were pulling out of that hole, right?
Yeah.
The whole town gathered around.
Everybody, yeah.
I mean, because these were out-of-town cops. These are not the police cops.
Right.
Oh
and my dad, my dad, he's not a criminal.
Well,
Well,
I mean,
Technically, he
is.
is.
He's-
He's selling
he's-
illegal dictionaries.
this goes all the way to the top, boys.
Who?
my God,
What's the
top of what?
Top of all the way to the top of the crime, okay?
The top of crime.
Right. And
your dad was at the top of all crime?
no, he was
He
framed.
was framed.
Oh.
He was
Okay.
framed for the top of all crime.
Oh my God.
Murder.
Your dad was framed for murder?
Yes.
What in the hell?
Who
Wait,
did he,
I-
who was murdered? I
What did they pull out of the hole?
mean, we all saw it, but
You
what
saw it,
was
right?
it?
What was it?
You saw it.
Oh yeah.
It was a large book that had the librarian's body in it.
It was a hollowed
That's
out
fitting.
book. Yeah.
It's fitting.
Right.
My
It
goodness.
was like one of
It's
those.
like a calling card, man.
Yeah.
There's been a murder in Timberdale.
So just because a librarian, one of our two librarians
One
in
of the
town,
two.
They figured,
was
oh
murdered
yeah, the only
in-
other person who sells books in town had to be, right? Doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, I kind of follow that.
we have a bookbinder in town. Maybe
Yeah, what's up with them?
she was responsible. I mean, someone had to create this human-sized book and hollow it out.
Exactly. Someone had to bind that whole thing.
You know?
Where is the bookbinder? Where has she gone? Have they questioned her at all?
I don't think she's anywhere around.
She skipped town. That's suspicious.
Well, my goodness. I think we got another mystery on our hands, boys.
Oh, no.
Another job for the mystery lifter guys.
Is that what we settled on?
I
MLG.
probably- MLG, baby, back in action.
Maybe before we launch into this investigation, we should confirm first, Greg, you were not responsible for this.
Not
death.
for this, no. Not for this death.
A librarian is dead.
A librarian is dead.
Henry's father has been framed for murder and is awaiting trial. We've got a new.
We got a new mystery here. If we don't figure this out, they'll book your father for this librarian's murder. Mother.
And he'll be bound in handcuffs for the rest of his life.
Wait, what happened to the
Now starts a new
librarian's mother?
chapter. What?
Starts a new chapter.
The librarian's mother?
You mentioned.
Yeah, she was there. She was crying about it. That's what I tuned in on.
Gotcha.
Because she was blubbering like a baby.
Yes, her daughter was murdered.
Oh, but it was so loud. I'm like, come on. We all see what's going on.
We all see what's getting pulled
We
out of
don't
this
need
hole.
the color commentary, madam.
Yeah, you said that to her. She was being interviewed on the news.
And I just went up to her and I was like, hey, we don't need the color commentary, madam.
Yeah,
And then she smacked
was so
me.
rude.
She smacked me
That
in
was
the
awful.
I
face.
wish she'd done it more.
I wish somebody would bind you in a book.
I want to see you get pulled out of a hole.
I don't know what that means.
Ah.
I'm sure it'll happen soon enough.
But yeah, big stuff going on this week in town, apparently.
Boy, my goodness. And did you see those people too?
Which ones?
The bald ones.
Near the hole?
Yeah, no, that they were like on the outskirts.
They were wearing robes.
They were wearing red robes.
They're very hard to miss. How did you not see them?
I was not paying attention, I guess.
There was like a crowd of them.
Yeah,
There's a
a
lot of
little
them.
crowd. They were up on the hill.
All bald, all in red robes?
All bald all the time. Red robed
All the time.
all the time. From their bald scalps to the tippy toes of their feet. They were robed in red.
Yes, I noticed them. Did you have anything?
Yeah,
to
was
say
there
about
more
that,
to
or-
No,
that?
I was just confused.
Just like,
by that.
yeah, did you see the weirdos?
Yeah, you see those fucking guys? What a
They
bunch of
were
weirdos.
in the distance, up on a hill, just kind of overseeing the whole thing. It was
Yeah.
very strange.
Yeah.
I don't know what in the world's going on there.
Well, I think they're from that new church that moved in just outside of Timberdale.
Ah, the
Wait.
Church of Everlasting Life.
Right.
That's the name of the town, Everlasting Life.
So
That's
it's
where the
church
police
of
were
that
from
town.
too.
The police were from Everlasting Life?
Yes.
Is that why they were wearing those
Red robes?
robes?
Yeah.
Did we actually figure out they were cops?
I mean, well, they had a siren.
That's true.
And they carried your father away in
Wait,
handcuffs.
no,
They-
that might
they-
have been Tommy. I didn't notice him with the shaved head. Oh my
Tommy the
God.
South has joined
Tommy-
He
the.
moved
Church of
to
Everlasting
Everlasting Life. And he's
I mean,
been
good
living
riddance,
there.
but-
Yeah, I mean, his mom still lives here, Linda.
Yeah, she's
Linda's
making
still
a
here.
name. She's snatching up businesses right and left.
But what's going on? So, a librarian was found in a hole in a big book.
Yes.
Balding robed red men took them,
Red robe.
red-robed,
Took them out of the hole in the book,
took them out of the hole,
imprisoned my father,
and they drove off with
and drove
Tommy the
him
South.
to Everlasting Life.
This is wow. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's almost like just when things were calming down and getting back to normal, a whole bunch of weird stuff happened.
Well,
It has been
probably
a little
nothing
quiet. My dad has not been talking about dictionaries too often.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that he would bind a woman in a book and bury her. Mm-hmm. That really seems out of his character.
That's out of his wheelhouse. He writes dictionaries. He doesn't bind books.
I've never known him to murder.
No, not.
You've
and
never known him to murder once?
No.
Huh.
So it would be out of character if he murdered this person.
Well. I hope everything smooths out over that.
Yeah, I hope your dad is okay.
Yeah, jeez.
Also, what's your dad's name?
His name?
Yeah,
His
we
name.
always refer to him just as your dad. I don't know if I've ever learned his name. I feel like he's going to be coming up a lot more, so maybe we should...
Of course. Well, I mean, if you guys want to know, it's kind of weird to like ask his name, but his name is Daddy Michaels.
Daddy Michaels?
That's what I mean, yeah.
How have we never known that?
That's the weirdest
We've
name I've
known
ever
you
heard.
forever, and we've never known your father's name is Daddy Michaels.
Harrison.
Daddy Michaels Harrison.
Is that a hyphen?
I don't know why you need to know his middle name, but
So his name is Daddy Harrison?
His middle name is Michaels?
yeah.
This is fantastic.
Why? What's wrong with that?
No, that's great.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Your father is a beautiful human. I would call him attractive. I'm just astounded that we've never known that his name is Daddy Michaels Harrison. I'm
It's
marveling
weird to
at
me
that.
that you asked, I don't know.
Well, this will make it easier when we inevitably be... Blah, blah.
That's true. It would be.
It would be if you could get that sentence out.
When we talk about it more going forward.
Although, why would we talk about him more? It seems like that was all pretty cut and dry.
Pretty-
Except, did you see that those men in the red robes from that church in Everlasting Life?
Uh-huh.
They were kind of hanging around the creamery.
Linda's?
Linda's Creamery. They were kind of hanging around there.
Well, I mean, I assume Tommy brought him over and was like, let's get some ice cream.
That would make sense.
I've joined this church.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Anyway, let's get to the podcast.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, that seems logical.
Podcast.
Let's get to what's actually important going on here.
Yeah. No, my
Let's
dad
sit down.
going to jail doesn't
Yeah.
matter at all.
Yeah,
let's get to the
we'll,
real
we'll get back to
important stuff.
Daddy Harrison later.
What's on the docket for today?
So as you both know, we got this week we got a tweet
Right.
Yeah.
from we've gotten a tweet from this person before.
Oh, of course.
Oh,
I remember.
Miguelon.
Nope.
Miguelon.
Veron Todo.
Leave them alone. This is from Jackson Swim at Jackson
Jackson Swimmer.
Swimmy.
Flop, flop.
Spaloosh.
At Jackson Swim.
Splash fight.
Marco.
I'm gonna read the
Polo.
tweet. Hush. The tweet says at Cineplex Podcast, which is how you can reach us.
That's us.
Twitter. Hi again. Greg and Henry requested 5 to 6 more recs based on The Old, the Older, and the Whippersnappers. So I'm late, but here I am.
Well,
Do you
it's
guys remember
about
that?
damned
yeah,
time.
finally.
It's about damn time, Schwimmy.
We've been waiting on these. So
We've had nothing to do.
here are the 6 films that at Jackson
And
Swim.
we watched them.
We watched
We
all
did.
of
Nothing's been
them.
going on in town until the arrest of Henry's father, but that was late in the week. So,
Yeah. I mean, that was like, what? Thursday?
Yeah.
Friday?
Today is Friday.
So it was Thursday.
It was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
It was late yesterday.
late yesterday.
I had to make my own dinner,
The very idea.
and I burnt it.
Why would you burn it?
Sitting there too long. I don't know.
Yeah. All I can taste is temperature now. I can't.
But here
After
are
the first bite, it all tastes the same, right?
Yes. That tickled me.
Here are the 6 films that we watched this week. 1, Fight or Flight, or Dwight.
Oh,
Number 2, Shrimp Party 2, the sequel.
Shrimp Party 2. That one was fun.
First one was better.
Number 3 was Daddy's Little Prince.
Oh, fitting, because that's
Yeah.
my dad's name.
Daddy.
Ah. Oh, I thought his name was Prince, but that's not even close to what his name
We
is.
His daddy,
just covered
who
it.
was formerly named Prince.
Oh, was he used to be named Prince?
That's right.
The daddy formerly known as.
He used to be Prince Harrison, but he changed it to
Yeah.
Daddy Harrison. Once you were born, I
Yeah.
assume.
Well, no.
Yes. Oh,
Oh.
Well before that.
well before.
Film number 4 that we
A lot
watched.
of backstory. We won't get into it.
Number 4 was Hallow Thanksmas.
What is that? Do you like Halloween and Easter make sense together?
Right.
'Cause
Yeah.
You got the
Halloween,
kids
Easter.
are all outside. They're in their costumes, looking
And
around for eggs.
Yeah.
Just throw
ringing
some eggs around,
doorbells.
Getting
Telling
handed
the good
eggs.
Getting
word.
rabbits. Yeah, and like I don't know. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween doesn't make as much sense because then you're like
It's true. What are
You-
you
you-
saying when you knock on the doors?
you stuff your Christmas dinner
Christmas
with
tree into a turkey,
peanut
and then you
butter
dress it
cups,
up in a ghost costume?
and then you exchange gifts that scare each other.
That makes no sense.
I think that's why that film was a comedy. It was
it's-
like, look at this ridiculous combination of holidays.
It's far more believable to go door to door dressed up.
And get handed a rabbit. Film number 5 was Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction. I don't remember watching that one.
It's about orange juice, and it's just not good.
It's about orange juice. That sounds stupid.
But it's not based on a true story.
My goodness.
Film number 6, the final film we watched, was Baby Joan and the Curse of the Haunted Binky. And Jackson Swim ends her tweet by saying, take your pick, and putting an emoji that's someone shrugging.
Well, thank you, Schwims.
Thank
you.
Shmi.
We don't really have time to go over all 6 of those films, so we should probably pick one.
Yeah, I think they got a good sense of what those movies were, but we can go in depth.
We can go in depth at least one of them.
At least one of them, and we
least
already decided which one that was going to be.
We already
so.
did decide which one that was,
All
and
right.
the one was
Shrimp Party 2!
Shrimp Party 2.
Hey!
Shrimp Party 2.
Come
Back
on
to
down.
partying. Shrimp Party 2. Second Wind. Shrimp Party 2. After Party.
You've been pitching subtitles for
I
this
really
film
feel like
all
it should
week.
have a subtitle.
Well, it's just
I really
Shrimp Party
I
2.
like Shrimp Party 2 After Party.
After Party?
That makes a lot of sense.
That's pretty good.
Right, because this
That's
film
a
does
good
pick
one,
up
Greg.
right where the first film ends,
right.
like seconds later.
Yeah.
Seconds later. They
Seconds
wrap
later.
up the entire first story. Everybody's all hunky-dory, and then immediately the plot picks back up in Shrimp Party 2.
Yes.
After
Shrimp
Party.
2.
I just realized we did not introduce the podcast or ourselves.
I'm Henry.
I'm Gregory
Harrison.
Basil.
And my name's Kyle McKlinsky. Welcome
this
to
is
Break,
Break
Room
Room
at the
Cineplex.
Cineplex. Good job, everyone.
Tweet us at
Nope, we saved that for the end.
Cineplex.com.
Whoa.
Sash.
We do that at the end.
Right.
Shrimp Party 2.
Shrimp Party 2.
Shrimp Party 2. So like I said, this one picks up right where the last film ended. Mm-hmm. We meet our main character who's from the first film.
Right. They were hosting the first party.
Correct.
The first shrimp.
Prawnathan.
Prawnathan.
Prawnathan Davies.
And
She was the host of the first party.
right.
and she had just finished up her little love story with Nathan.
Right.
And the party had been coming to an end. It was all winding down. Everybody's stories were resolved.
Mm-hmm.
Our story starts up. The Shrimp Party 2. It opens up. Nathan and Prawnathan. They just shared a kiss, and they're like, "That was some party, huh?" Then the cops show up.
The prawn lease.
The prawn lease show up in their cop car. They show up and they knock down the door. They knock down the door. They just kick it in, and they say, "Hey, what's happening in here? We got a noise complaint."
And Prawnathan's like, "Nope, party's over. The party ended."
They say, "Hey, they're resisting. They're not shutting this thing down. Let's take them downtown." And so
they start stripping.
They start stripping. They pull out a boombox and they start playing it.
And it turns out, these are not real prawn lease. They're
shrimpers. They're shrimpers. They're shrimp strippers. And they show up. They start taking off their shells. Wait, are these people or shrimp? It's at this point that it was very obvious in the film that all of these people were crustaceans.
It became
Obviously.
apparent at this point in the story, during the sequel, mind you,
During
that
the
these
sequel-
people were shrimp.
They're all shrimp and lobsters and crabs and and fish. Fish were there too, but they took the back burner. So these shrimp they start stripping everything. And the party just kind of picks back up, and then they're like, "Sweet deal, all right. Who's getting their second win? Let's get this going.
It's time for the after party.
Time for the after party." Roll title.
So this film, just to kind of like give an overall thing, this is like one of those comedies like your Superbads or your, where it's like the whole film is this party and all this sort of wackiness that happens at this party. So
Right.
We're starting off with the bang. Last party just ended. New party is underway. We've got shrimpers. We've got
So much is happening.
Prawnathan.
So much is happening. Prawnathan's there with Nathan.
With Nathan.
Nathan. And the party kind of picks back up. A whole busload of people show up. In the crowd, Prawnathan and Nathan, they kind of get separated. And so Prawnathan is saying like, "Well, damn, we just kind of got together right here. We finally our stories kind of resolved there, so we could I would rather be with Nathan right now." So she starts making her way through the crowd, and she looks across the living room, and she sees that Nathan is dancing with Lobstretta, the hottest girl in school.
Yeah, and Prawnathan's rival. Yeah, these are
Established characters.
yes,
Yes.
everyone's familiar with these
We
characters.
know Lobstretta from the first one.
But yeah, it kind of like the whole drive of this film becomes Prawnathan trying to get Nathan away from this party and to get some alone time together because they just connected just moments ago.
Just mere moments before these shrimpers came up. So Nathan and Lobstretta, they are dancing, and Prawnathan, she kind of bursts into tears, and she runs up the stairs to her room, and she's followed by her little friend
Crustamy.
Crustamy runs after her. She's like, "Oh, Prawnathan, you poor thing. He's just a jerk. You forget about him. And Lobstretta, she's the hottest girl in school, and I wish that she was my friend too, but don't worry about that." And Prawnathan's like, "Oh, I just thought that we'd end up together and everything would be great.
It seemed like things were going that way.
Yeah, just mere moments before those shrimpers showed up." And Crustamy's trying to calm her down and everything, and saying, "Well, hey, let's just go downstairs. Let's get a drink. Let's continue having a good time. This is a good time. Still, we're still having a good time."
So they are working their way down the stairs, and they see in the kitchen that Lobstretta is doing a keg stand, and she is murdering it.
She's
like she is
just
sucking it
destroying
dry.
it. And she's doing push-ups while
I mean,
she's
she's got
doing
those
it.
claws.
and
She
she's
can really grip on that.
right, and she's got Nathan in her claws in a sense, because he's kind of odd. He's in awe at this, and
Yeah.
like you see like her suck, the keg kind of like crunches, like it's like finishing, like being sucked dry, and then
Like
she's
a
like
juice box?
Yeah, she just bangs it against her lobster skull, and it just like smashes.
She's got that hard outer shell.
and she's got an exoskeleton. That's not a lot of shrimps can compete with that
Like
kind
you
of.
Yeah.
want a girl with an exoskeleton.
Yeah,
But that's when Prawnathan notices
Uh-huh.
that we're completely out of booze. Like we have no alcohol left.
Mm-hmm.
How are we gonna keep the party going?
Nathan and Crabthew, they say, "Hey, we're out of booze. We'll go get more." And Prawnathan says, "That's a great idea. I'll come with you. As will Crustamy."
Yeah, she just like grabs Crustamy and drags her
Crustamy
out of
too.
the house with her.
And so they're like, "Sweet, all right, let's go."
And they start
more booze.
to leave, and Lobstrella's like, "No, I'm coming too. I'm the most popular girl in school.
Clicks her claws.
This party's dead without me." And they're like, "Okay, all right."
All right.
So the 5 of them
Yes.
leave the house.
Much to Prawnathan's chagrin. Yes.
Yeah, she does not want
Fucking
Lobsteretta. Lobstretta.
Lobstrella?
These are established characters that
Exactly.
everyone's
We
familiar
know
with.
who these people are because of the first film.
Right.
So anyway, they all go.
So they're driving. They're going off to the convenience store, and Crabthew
Yes.
is like, "Hey, has anyone got any money?" And they're all like, one after the other, they're checking their pockets because they wear clothes.
They wear clothes.
This isn't.
I mean,
if
that
there's
was
going to be
established
shrimpers,
when
they
the
need to have
shrimpers
something.
They
came
need to have
in,
something to shrimp.
So they're all checking their pockets, and they're all like, "No, we don't have any money."
Yeah.
And Crabthew is like, "Don't worry, guys, I got an idea." So they pull up outside the convenience store. Crabthew goes in first, and they all follow him in. They're all just kind of looking around, picking stuff off the shelves. And Crabthew's like, "All right, you guys, you got all the booze?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then he pulls out a gun. He's like, "This is a robbery." You guys remember from the first film that Crabthew is kind of a loose cannon. This guy is a
We
maniac.
never know what he's gonna do. He's a wild card.
So this is a continuation of this character we already know and love.
That we already established in the first
Right.
one.
He's the only crab that has 5 o'clock shadow in the entire movie.
Uh-huh.
So he's like kind of corralling the convenience store worker into a corner, and
Yes.
like he jumps over the side, starts emptying out the register,
Right.
and like everybody else is like kind of like shocked, like they're all like, oh, and he's like, "Guys, I'm getting into the car, like
The
move."
cashier is a puffer fish and immediately inflates,
Inflates and just kind of floats off a little bit,
floats up to the ceiling.
and just like on the ceiling hits a button, and it's like calls the police. Like,
Yeah.
Like, we gotta go.
And so like the alarm's ringing, and they pull out, and everybody's out of the store except for
Crabthew?
Crabthew. Everybody except for Crabthew, who's like clearing out the register, and they're like, "Crabthew, get over here!
We
Come
got
here.
the booze. We got what
That's
we came
all we
for.
wanted."
Yeah.
And then,
Forget the money.
and so he's like still emptying the register at this point, and they're like,
And
"Should we-"
he's taking his time. He's counting one bill at a time.
Right. That's because that's all he can grab onto with his claws. is just
Exactly.
one at a time, and so. He's like pinching it out like little by little, and then eventually he's like putting it into a bag, and he puts the bag.
He's trying to grab the
trying
coins
to-
off the counter.
He's trying to tie a knot around the bag, and it's just not working. And then like they're just like, "I don't know what to do." The police like they see sirens
police are coming
in the
around the
background, and
corner.
they're like, "We should just go,"
fuck
and
it,
they
leave
like
It's a bunch of sharks.
peel out.
Sharks with lights on them.
Sharks with lights.
And so they peel out. Yeah, it's like you can tell it's the real cops because they're sharks rather
Right,
than
sharks.
shrimps.
These are
with
not
clothes on.
shrimpsters.
And so like Crabview is left there alone, and you kind of see him like as they're driving away in their back rear view mirror, they see him like coming out of the store with like
He's scuttling.
he's scuttling.
So that side.
And the police are just surrounding the store, and it does not look good for him.
No.
And they're like, "Let's get fucked up," and they head back to the party.
Yeah. We start a montage of thumping dance music and then drinking at the party again.
And people are asking, "Where's Crabthew?" And they're like, "It is a great party, yeah."
Pretending they can't hear him.
So yeah, so the party continues to be up, like it is up and up and up, and slowly, as the evening slowly turns into morning, people start dispersing, and
Sure.
and
Well, we catch back up again with
Prawnathan
who is
and Nathan.
well, Prawnathan is looking for
Right.
Nathan. Prawnathan's like, I lost track of Nathan somewhere in this party. Where is he? So she's going around to all these rooms. She's checking bathrooms, closets, the attic,
Any
the
room
basement.
possible. If there's a door, she opened it.
And then
as she looked
eventually
inside.
she gets to her own room, which she checks last.
Yeah, because
It's her room.
it's her room. Why would anybody go into her room?
And she opens the door, and there's Nathan
With
Crustamy,
Crustamy.
which is just the ultimate betrayal.
Exactly. Oh my
And what a
goodness.
misdirection! We think that Nathan is got eyes for Lobsteretta.
Yeah, I mean that's what I thought.
That's who you had eyes for.
Yeah, I thought Lobsteretta was just a bombshell. Oh my goodness.
Well, she was a shell.
Hubba.
And so
My
she
goodness.
she
I wouldn't
walks-
mind drizzling butter over that.
And so she opens the door and sees the scene, and Crustamy is like it's not what it looks like. I was just trying to be friends with Lobstretta, and this was the easiest way to get into her friend circle. And,
And Prawnathan is just taken aback. She's saying to you two-faced, you shellfish person, you
Shellfish person.
You are nothing but a clam. You're clammy. Flavor. She's not very good at insulting people.
You just open your shell for anyone.
And Crustamy, she's starting to cry. She's like, no, please, you don't understand.
after my struggle from the first movie, they're like this was my resolution
This
here.
is the logical arc for my character.
and Prawnathan's having none of it. She is unamused, unentertained, and unsatisfied.
Your water. Oh.
And so she's like, "You need to get out of my house now." And she kicks Crustamy out, and her and Nathan are just sitting there.
Yeah.
He's like, "Should I go? I should go too,
It's
right?"
like, you're
He's
not
like,
going anywhere.
You sit the fuck down.
Sit the fuck down.
And she pulls
Don't
out a
talk
gun.
to me. Don't look at me.
She pulls out Crabthew's gun.
Yeah, which she took from earlier.
Yeah, we
because
see this-
Crabthew couldn't hold the gun and
So
deal with
he's
the
like,
money at the
"Here,
same
take
time.
this, take
hold
this."
hold this. So she is holding Nathan hostage, as it were. He's like, "You sit the fuck down. We're gonna talk this out. We're gonna parse this out, okay?" And so Nathan, he's saying, "All right, everything's cool. Yes, I almost made out with Lobsteretta, and I actually made out with your best friend. But who's to say that might happen a third time? I'm totally on the level."
Just then, there's a knock downstairs on the door. Prawnathan is like, "Don't fucking move.
Fucking move! I will shuck you. I'll shuck your brains.
Shuck you up."
Shuck your brains out.
So Prawnathan goes downstairs and opens the door, and it's Nathan's parents. Mm-hmm. They're like, "Hey, we expected Nathan home by now. We thought the party was gonna end early last night. Well, it looks like a whole second party's happened.
Yeah.
Where
It's
is
morning
he?
now.
We've been looking for him."
And she says, "Oh," as she has the gun behind her back. She says, "Oh, Nathan isn't here. He went off with someone else last night."
And they're like, "Really? I thought that you two seemed like you were going to connect. And that seemed like
It seemed like the logical
conclusion.
Ending.
Yeah.
It seemed like pretty much the
There
end
was
of that
a lot
story.
of build up to that, a lot of foreshadowing.
It seemed like the falling action would bring you to a full and complete end.
And Prawnathan's like, "You'd think so, wouldn't you?" She has this like uncomfortable
little-
smile on her face, like eye twitches.
And the parents are like, "Well, all right, we won't take any more of your time. We will go off and continue to look for our son, about whom we are very worried." And they leave.
Yep, door shuts and they leave. Prawnathan goes back upstairs. He's gone. Nathan is gone.
Her window's open.
The rubber bands that she had put on his... What is...
What did I say?
The rubber bands are on the floor. Somehow
a
he's able to
holy
wiggle out of them.
the rubber bands that she had put around his human hands.
Human hands to keep him steady. He just slipped right out of him.
Yeah, because he has fingers. And most of them aren't used to that. This is why he is such a catch. Like, this is a human person.
Exactly.
That's why
He's the catch of the day.
That's right.
So she Prawnathan is freaking out now because she's like he's about to go off and be with somebody else now.
So she's looking, the window's open, the curtains are fluttering in the breeze, and she's like, he must have gone out. And then we see, from his perspective, he's in the closet hiding. Mm-hmm. He's a thinker. He opened the window and then went and hid in the closet, even though he could have escaped. And
He could have just escaped and ran away.
So
on his
is he a
human
thinker?
legs.
I don't know.
I don't know.
He's faster than any of these creatures.
He's so much
she's
bigger.
visibly like frustrated. She's very mad at this point, and she's just kind of like banging on a wall. And then she's like, "All right, I'm gonna get all dressed up to murder this guy." And this, and she says this under her breath, but we get Nathan's like panic. He's like, "Oh," and like kind of like hugs up against one of the walls. So when she opens the closet door, he's not. He doesn't. She doesn't see him.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, through the slats on the inside, we see her shadow pass across it, and Nathan's breathing heavily, and then she throws it open, and no one's in there because he's hiding up against the corner.
Against the corner. Yeah.
And she picks out like a really cute outfit that she's
Yeah.
like.
She picks out a few. She's like, well, I could wear this one.
Right.
or I could
No,
wear
it
this
takes
one,
her a
or
while,
this one.
and then she finally decides on something, and she storms
Very
out of the
beautiful
house.
dress.
Yeah, she's
Gorgeous
like,
dress.
Nathan is going to regret getting murdered by me in this.
Slinky dress.
So Prawnathan leaves the house, and Nathan is left in her room, and he's kind of like looking around at all the stuff around, and he's like, "There's like so many framed pictures of me in here. This is like really weird."
This is really strange.
Like, and he's like picks up one, and it says like "Together Forever" on it. And it just has like kind of like a mishmash of like one of his photos and one of her photos, in like a heart shaped like frame, and it's just like really like he's off put by all of this. He's like, this is
certainly taking a turn.
At the end of the first party, this was feeling like the right move here, but I feel like I kind of dodged a bullet, metaphorically and literally.
Oh.
And so he's like, so he starts to leave the house. He walks out the front door, and he's like, I need to find a place to hide. Like, this is scary. I'm like frightened for my life right now. He's like, well, I need to go, I think, back to my house, like maybe get some supplies
Let
from
my
there.
parents know that I'm okay.
And let them know I won't ever come home.
But I'm okay.
Right.
But that I'm okay.
And so he starts to make his way home.
Yeah, as he's walking, he can hear Prawnathan's voice coming up the way, and so he quickly ducks into a bush of coral. He jumps into a coral bush, and she walks by. She's talking to someone else, some other stranger, and she's like, "Hey, have you seen Nathan?"
She's holding up one of the photos where his face has been cut out from a different photo and placed on a different
placed on
bunch.
there.
She's like,
Have you seen this
guy?"
man?
She's pointing at it with her gun. Like,
And he's like, well, okay,
He's
now
like,
that you're waving
well,
a gun in my face.
I mean,
no, I haven't.
thank you very much, sir.
I
Have a
would think
wonderful
I
day.
would, because this is the only human person that lives in town.
I would remember seeing someone like that.
We all
10
know.
fingers? You think
Yeah,
I'm going
I've
to
seen
forget
him.
something like that?
Yeah, I've seen him before.
That jogs his memory.
Human skin? No, I haven't seen him.
Sweet, has he or hasn't he?
Yes, of course.
So Nathan kind of like sneaks out of the side of the bush.
While all
He's
this
like,
confusion
they're
is happening.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll take my escape here.
And he makes it to his house, and he's like packing a suitcase. He's like throwing a bunch of stuff just into like a shrimp case.
And his parents come up and they say, "Hey, Nathan, what's going on? We've been worried sick about you. Yes, of course we aren't your birth parents, but ever since we adopted you, you're our only child, and we're worried about you. So why don't you tell us what's going on?"
Because there are a couple of sea turtles.
There's some sea turtles, yeah.
And he's like, I don't know how to tell you this, but you know how like the first there was I went to a party the other night, and I feel like things were really coming to a closure with me.
Yes, of course, with you
A
and
shrimp party.
Prawnathan.
Shrimp party 1.
Right.
Party 1.
Right. Well, there was a second party, an after party, and things
And
are real
now-
messy now.
Now the
Prawnarella
storyline
wants
has
to kill
really
me.
changed tone.
Prawnathan is out for blood. So I'm just going to flee town. I think I might go back to the surface. That seems to be where I fit in best.
I breathe air. Most of you don't. The whales do.
The whales kind of do. You two are pretty close. You all breathe air as well.
You can stop by.
Turtles, yeah. I'll be in touch. And they say, well, okay, bye.
It was nice raising you for the last
17
years.
And they let him go.
But, you know, it's
They-
different
they-
customs.
yeah,
it's
exactly.
not, they have a different societal structure than we do.
Exactly.
And so he's leaving the house, and he has like a little inflatable life jacket. And
Yeah.
he's like inflating it with his mouth, like little by little. So he's like taking a deep breath, and it's like slowly kind of taking off the ground. And,
Yeah.
Right.
It makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
But that's when
Prawnathan shows up.
shows up. He's like, I knew you would come back to your house.
Yeah, well, like as he's inflating, suddenly you hear this pop, and then and all the air starts leaking out of his
He was
flotation
only
device.
about 3 feet off the ground when he starts to like go back down.
Yeah.
And he's like, Prawnathan, no. I'm like, you need to understand. I didn't mean any of this. This was the first movie was where it was supposed to end with us. And he's like kind of plugging the hole with his hands, and he's like trying to blow some more air in, and it's just like not working very well.
No.
And she's like kind of looming over him, like, this isn't where our story ends, Nathan. And he's like Prawnathan, like, please
listen. Here's the deal. I'm getting the hell out of here, and you can't follow me, Prawnathan. Prawnathan's like, so this is how it's gonna be. You're gonna walk away, and you're gonna live on the surface with other humans, and you're not gonna stay here with me.
Shrimp.
He says that's pretty much how it's gonna go. Prawnathan, I'm really sorry to hurt you like this.
Then he pulls like a string, and it just inflated the whole thing all at once.
Yes,
He had a second backup.
like a parachute.
So he
There's
pulled
always a
it,
backup.
he inflated, and he starts going to the surface, and he realizes, oh my god, I'm going way too fast. Like, I need to slow down. I might get the bends. And so he's like trying to slow himself down by like emptying it out of the little mouthpiece that he was blowing in earlier, but it only goes in, so it's inflating more.
And he's just ascending
He's
even faster.
rocketing toward the surface, and we just get like a macro perspective of like bottom of the ocean from top down, and him just rocketing toward the surface. The skin on his face is being pushed back, and he's shaking, and eventually he shoots out of the water 30 feet in the air and lands, and we just see Prawnathan down below, like just seeing like the outline of his mangled corpse up on the top of the water, and she's like, time for the after party.
Roll credits.
How do you guys feel about the end of that film?
It seemed abrupt.
Quite.
I mean, we didn't get the same closure we got from the first one.
No, the first one wrapped everything up
very
and then,
nicely. The whole movie felt kind of unnecessary as a sequel.
And
I think
Shrimp Party 1 was so good as a standalone movie.
and Prawnathan was like an established character in that film.
And,
Yeah.
I mean, even Crab View was like all the characters were established. They all had their arcs. They all had beautiful and then I don't know. The sequel just felt like kind of like a really sloppy follow up.
Well, I think that mainly had to do with the fact that they brought in a completely different production team.
It was a
new
cash grab.
director, exactly.
Like this film came out like 6 months after Shrimp Party 1 came out. This had to be a first draft of the script.
Then there was that whole tone shift when
When people started dying.
when
and
Prawnathan
stuff,
pulls a gun on Nathan. Like goodness,
Yeah.
I mean, who wrote that?
What a mess of a film.
What an absolutely horrible film. Schwimmy?
Yeah, Jackson.
Yeah. Hey.
Thanks
Hey,
for
Jackson.
nothing, Jackson.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10 from you.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a 9. I really enjoyed this film.
I think a 10 is deserved for this one. How could you do that?
Only because just how the movie was.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's why
the
I
only
rated it that
reason
way,
that
too.
I rated
Yeah.
it that way.
Because of the things that were in the movie and
The thing,
And,
just
and
it
the,
all
and the way that it
adds
made
up.
me feel, and yeah.
Yeah, and just the overall tone.
Shrimp Party 2.
Man, we should have watched Pulp Fiction.
Well, I mean, we did. We should have reviewed Pulp Fiction.
What were the other ones?
You
Maybe
know
we'll
them.
review. Well, maybe we'll review another.
Let's review another one right now.
Right now.
Yeah, back
right
to back,
now.
2 in 1.
Ooh, let's do a lightning round.
Lightning
What was the first
round.
one?
Fight or Flight or Dwight.
Fight or Flight or Dwight. That's right.
Dwight was a nerd, right?
Dwight is a nerd, and he's always getting picked on by everybody.
Until he meets his old scientist who says, I'm gonna offer you gloves that make it so you can punch people really hard, or shoes that allow you to fly. Fight or flight, Dwight.
And he was like, nope, I'm taking neither. I'm just going to beat him up the regular way. And
he did.
And it moved me.
Shrimp Party 2, we already got into that.
Right.
If we want to recap real quick, there's a second party after a first party. There's a girl who is in love with this guy, and then they end up robbing a convenience store.
They run out of booze. The crab drops
Yes.
his gun, so the shrimp takes
Shrimp
it.
She takes the guy
Shrimp
hostage.
Shrimp holds man hostage.
After he's making out with
Lobster.
her good friend.
I mean, clam.
Then he launches up to the surface and dies in the least satisfying conclusion to
Next
a film
movie?
ever. Daddy's Little Prince.
Daddy's Little Prince. This movie is really interesting because it centers around a single father, and his son, obviously, and his son. The father pampers the son so much to the point that when the son is finally grown up, the father just can't handle the fact that his son has moved out, is moving on with his life. Like his son comes home with a date. And the father's like, well, I don't think she's good for us at all. I don't think she's the one for us. And so it just kind of turns into a really, the father's just obsessed with the son. That's it. That's all.
The whole movie.
Yep. Hollow Thanks, Miss.
Well, this one is, I mean, obviously about the combination of the 3 holidays. And this is because a witch decides that there are too many holidays and kids are having too much fun, so they need to roll it all into one holiday. But it turns out the kids have more fun this way, so the witch is defeated in the end.
There you go.
Pulp Fiction.
That's a shitty movie.
Yeah, something about orange juice. And Baby Joan and the Curse of the Haunted Binky.
Yes, Baby John and the Curse of the Haunted Binky.
This was a demon possession film.
Exactly.
But it's a baby.
This baby gets.
You ever seen Mask 2?
It's basically Mask 2.
Yeah, it's basically Mask 2.
But instead
Alright.
of a mask, it's a binky.
Well, thanks, Jackson.
Jackson, thank you
Jackson
so
Swim.
much for listening and submitting. And next time, let's get 7 titles.
I mean, they're
and
trying to
let's
fit
have
this
them
into
little-
a tweet. So
All right,
Alright.
Schwimmer,
but-
send us another lightning round.
All right, lightning round, Schwimmy, and we need those titles.
We should just
okay?
call them Schwim rounds.
Schwim rounds.
Send us 6.
A round of Schwimmies.
6. Yeah, let's do a round of Schwimmies.
Let's
6 movies.
Let's do some laps with Schwimmy.
All right, enough of this. Thanks for listening. If you'd like to submit a film, assuming you can get one in between all the ones from Jackson we're going to be doing, feel free to reach out via email at cineplexpodcast@gmail.com or on Twitter at cineplexpodcast.
gmail.
Greg, I hate this. I hate when you do this.
Cineplex@thebmail.com, son.
Goodbye.